Thank you, everyone, chat, working together as a team. We greatly appreciate that. We have Sprek at the top playing Ursafoil, and Mark H at the bottom playing a deck that is in Chinese, but we have actual stuff, so we're getting good to go. And the judge, as Marcus, very good judge, is alert on the table and has started a secondary timer, so they will have the full amount of time for the round, and we are ready and off to play some Archon. Round 3, Las Vegas Vault Tour version 2, I'm calling it, because second time we've been to Vegas here for the game. And it looks like Mark H is going first, has a grip of 7 cards, and is looking at, looks like some Shadows and Logos, if I'm reading that correctly. Let's look at the decks real quickly. So Mark H's deck is triple Electric Inquiry, Autoencoder, double Bone-Nithing, double Reckless Rizzo, safe, so double Bone-Nithing safe. Mark's going to mulligan. The Star Alliance has Subject Kirby, Secure Droid, Red Alert, Blast Shielding, Away Team, Particle Sweep, Flux, Translator, Forging Lights. Oh, it's a Quixelstone deck. Oh, okay. It's a Quixelstone deck with stuff that can be played as upgrades. Plus, Safe House and Bone-Nithing works well with Quixelstone. Plus, Quixelstone with Autoencoder and triple Electric Inquiry. Okay. Mark has started out with the Shadows card. Do I recognize the art? Is it Subtle Auto? No. I didn't catch what card that was. I gotta match Vandalize. Okay, so he vandalized away a Sanctum card. Most important question for me right now is, does Ursafoil have any hard R, any way to remove anything? Let's click through their deck real quickly. Because if the answer is no, then that's going to create a very interesting arms race to who can get a board or stone down quicker. Sorry, I'm just rapidly flipping through all this stuff. Unfathomable. Oh, it's a Bryozark deck. Yeah, I don't think that they do. Okay, so Quixelstone is for sure a problem. Although Quixelstone Bryozark is actually hilarious if they can make tokens. So against Woe, remember, let me update the Amber. He's got 2 Amber, he's just made a couple of tokens. So against Woe, Quixelstone is slightly less good in most circumstances because making a token does not count as playing a card, as playing a creature. The tokens are put into play. So when you put something into play, except the 5 now, when you put something into play, you have a scenario where you can get around Quixelstone's restrictions. So that is one thing that, even if Ursafoil can't straight up stop Quixelstone or remove it, definitely does have a way to deal with the situation by making tokens. So right now we have multiple tokens in play. Scholar is the token for Ursafoil, which is pretty decent. And Mark H is playing double Upgrade, which is, I think, double... What is that? Double Opportunist, yes. It's got Elusive, and it captures 1. So Sprek is down to 3. And the... that is Opportunist? No, that's something that was... It's a Reckless Rizzo. Yeah, the Woe deck is pretty crazy, too. These are both pretty good decks. Reckless Rizzo was interesting, so I think Reckless Rizzo with double Opportunist, because it says the creature gains Elusive, and Reckless Rizzo says until the start of your next turn, Reckless Rizzo loses Elusive, but Opportunist is on Reckless Rizzo, so I don't actually know what happens if Rizzo activates its action, whether or not Reckless Rizzo would still have Elusive if you have an upgrade that is telling it to gain, and anyway, whatever. We'll come to that later if that's relevant. But Bryo is already down behind Taunt, which is a powerful start for Ursafoil here. So Sprek is at 3 Amber, has Bryo down behind Taunt on the right side of the battle line, so it would be the very last thing that is killed through the use of actions. I think that is Befuddle. I didn't see. Is that Befuddle? Yeah, that is Befuddle. I do not know what has been befuddled, but it's Befuddle with a capture pip. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'll be able to tell. Yeah, they said what befuddled, but I'm far enough away for obvious reasons since I'm talking to you and don't want them to hear me. I couldn't tell what was befuddled. But I'm assuming befuddle was not for shadows. It could have been, but actually befuddle might be for shadows. That probably would have been intelligent. Let's assume befuddle was for shadows until, well, we'll find out if Mark plays any cards. So right now Mark has 6 cards that are not shadows in his hand. And is deciding how to proceed. He calls Logos and discards 4 Logos cards, it looks like. And then draws 4 cards at the end of turn. So basically befuddle operates like a turn skip there. So I'm assuming Shadows was called, because he had Star Alliance stuff, so he could have just played Star Alliance. But he bins the even odd guy, I think it was at least one inquiry, it was a Quixo, even Ivan, and the Titan Engineer. It looks like we're discarded there. So befuddle ends up being a functional turn skip. Let's see, he's up to 4. I think Mark still has no Amber. I did not see Quixel in his hand, but I could have missed it there at the end of the draw. Spreck's going to reap 3 times, and Scholar coming in big here. He's going up 7, draws 3 cards. Plays, that's the Legion. Oh, he's got Legionary Trainer. Oh, God. Legionary Trainer Scholar is so good. Legionary Trainer Scholar is like the upgraded version of Prospector. You don't have to kill your stuff. You just play it and reap. It's worse in certain situations if your opponent has board control, of course, but so good. Just reap, draw cards. So good. It dies to, a stiff breeze or something, but does he have more than 1 trainer? 2 Legionary Trainers. Wow, that's crazy. That's a deck. And what are we at? 8? 8 Amber, I think. And I don't know what he did. He did, was Plebeians? Arm the Plebeians? Make a token creature rewarded, but the damage pip. It's Amber damage capture, I think, is the pip on that. So I think he damaged out the creature on opponent's side. Did he take that? Is this Amber sitting right here? Is that supposed to be his Amber? I don't know if that's supposed to be Spreck's Amber. But this is just such a powerful line. What does Mark have in the way of targeted removal? Because if he can't do anything with Bryo, I don't think he has anything to deal with this. Because, with Bryo on the board under taunt, he can't, play Dark Wave. I mean, he could play Dark Wave, but just kill a token on the right. But now the token is warded, which is just crazy. Yeah, I don't know how you get out of this if you don't have a way to remove that. You just don't. You can't remove Bryo at all. So you could try playing Bonithing in safe houses. That might be his best avenue right here, because the Bonithing safe is not stopped by Bryo. He did take the Amber, so he's up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. And then he played one other. Is that Thrax? Thrax is, just giving lots of enhancement creature card on the right. That's a good creature to have killed. And Mark's just in a world of trouble here, because if you can't, under this particular thing on the left here, under our card, is Bryo's right on Bryoarch is under the card right there, and then to the left I think might be another taunt dude. I can't tell. Is it another, or it could be Chaos? I'm trying to look at art. I don't know. And he has a city state somewhere. Jesus, this is getting out of control fast. So there's 6, 12, 14 I think we're up to. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. And so Mark H is going to play. He does have upgrades, so he plays away team and then plays Universal Translator on away team. plays a taunting creature next to that, plays subject Kirby. Now all of these, of course, are coming in exhausted, so they're not exhausted at the moment, but they are. He plays Is that Make It So? What is that? What is that card? Forging an Alliance, which does not fire. He's got 2 amber. Forging an Alliance, actually the number is 3 on the other side, and if he had played Shadows first, it would be 5 total, so Forging Alliance would be Forge a Key at +2. Oh yeah, he didn't have any amber, so that doesn't work. If all of these creatures actually came in ready, as he's depicted them, and not exhausted, then I think he would still not have it, but it'd be close. Either way, so Forging Alliance played for the amber. We're back to a dominant Sprek turn where he's probably just gonna reap out with the Saurian stuff, right? I think that's just so good. And yeah, as Buff Gobo was mentioning in chat, like the triple membership drive is insane because it just creates all of these tokens. And if your opponent doesn't have a board clear, and right now a straight board clear isn't going to do it, because remember, the battle line's so big. Hidden under our preview card here on the left where membership drive is, hidden under this card is a BryoArc that's behind Taunt here. So like, you have to find a way to remove BryoArc first, and then if you have any board clears, play it. Like Mark does have Red Alert, but Red Alert doesn't work here because it just kills it just strips ward of the leftmost creature, which is a token. So you would need like something like Bubbles, but he's not playing a deck that has that sort of effect, I don't think. I'm looking again, but I think basically you just have there is absolutely no way out of this scenario for Mark's Stone deck. He just has to hope that he can steal enough through repeated Bonifings and Safe House, maybe. But I don't see how that's possible. Did Sprek forge a key? I don't know where Sprek's keys are. Oh, yes, he did. It's over on the right. So we forged blue key. Sorry, blue key. And now we are 13. So he's at 13 amber. And he's just reaping, drawing deck. The one downside of doing this, if you can even call it a downside, we're up to 14. If you can even call it a downside, the one downside is that at some point in time you're going to run out of tokens to make. But at that point in time, your board is so dominant, it just doesn't matter. Okay, our camera's on the fritz again. 1 second, camera reset. Just a moment, please. Okay, we're back. Yeah, you can just see the dominant nature that this has. If you don't have a straight answer to Byro's Arch, and you're able to, Ursafoil just does this, right, and does crazy things in terms of tokens. And if you can't answer Byro's Arch and you don't have, Bubbles is an answer to Byro's Arch, but if you don't have Bubbles, you would need some creature-based thing that would, like Numquid. Numquid would specifically be a god tier card in this situation, but that's like it, right? You can't really do much here if you're Mark. You could he didn't find his stone early, so that also hurts. Because stone wouldn't prevent the tokens, but it would prevent trainer from being played if there was a board. So not finding stone is pretty much lethal in this situation. The combination of not finding stone plus Ursafoil putting Bryo on the table, lights out, end of game. I know we're casting and, I'm not trying to kill drama, but there's not a lot of drama left in this game from what I could see from both sides because, hold on, let me go to Mark here. So I think Mark has 0 amber again because it was all captured. And, Jesus, Sprek has... Do our counters go that high is the question. So he had enough amber that he had to dip into the secondary amber pool for different colored amber. It's always a good sign when you're playing that. 7, 8. I think I count 19. Let's go by 19. Amber and pool. And of course, things like graft or whatever he doesn't have them, but even if he had them, it wouldn't matter. So he's just popping wards and killing stuff with actions. He does get amber pips off the actions, even though they don't resolve. There's another amber pip resolved. I think that was particle sweep. Yeah. But this is not fair. This is illegal. Somebody call the police. Somebody call the police. This is unfair. Bryo behind taunt with no ability to remove the Bryo. And just tokenizing all your creatures, and your creatures all reap for reap and draw. Like, this is peak Ursafoil, I have to imagine. I can't imagine it do... Yeah, seriously. Someone does need a lawyer, apparently. Call the cops, because this is... I need to walk over and advise Sprecky he has the right to remain silent after this round for all the crimes he's committing currently, but meanwhile goes to check at 14. Yeah. And I just don't know what you do. I don't know what you do if you're Mark H here. I just don't know what you do. I mean, he's got 3 Amber, but you need... Spreka shuffled his discard pile, so he's now drawing back into that for more of the reap draws. And he's, what, it's 16? Count the number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 17. Yeah, this is... I don't think he forgot to forge because I think we're still on a turn that's been lasting for forever. He did forge the blue key. You can see he's 1 key forged in this icon here. I don't think he had a turn since that happened. I think he's literally just been drawing so many cards and playing cards that we've just been on his turn. The turn is so long. No, there's one of the keys. Are you saying you think he should have 2 keys? I think he should only have 1. So there's the 1 key flipped here in the corner, sorry. So you can see this key right here is flipped. And that's indicated by our graphic up here. And he has 19. So we should have 2 keys. I mean, I'll go over and ask. I mean, I don't think it's gonna matter in this round, but if you're correct, obviously board state should be correct. No problem. All right, chat, you were absolutely correct. Thank you for pointing it out to me. Always take any assistance I can. He is supposed to have 2 keys, so we did flip 1. Thank you, chat, for the win there. Much obliged. So, as I said, I don't think he has a way out of. I don't think Mark has a way out of this board state. And in retrospect, it would look kind of weird too. But he has a principal and double. Yeah, it's just going to concede because he has no way out of this. He actually does have a fair amount of answers in deck if Bryo isn't on board behind Taunt. But there are no answers that can resolve that board state. They're just straight up no answers. So it is a wild, wild situation. But that is peak Ursafoil, folks. And I got to tell you, that was a crazy deck. I've heard about Ursafoil. I've not cast it around with it yet. So that is for sure nutso.